Yo, this is Raekwon the Chef, and this is a Loudspeakers Network production. Peace.
Yes, you tune into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com.
Shit.
You know what? I keep saying the CombatJackShow.com, but I really haven't been fucking with the website.
Yeah, but people don't need to know that.
But I'm saying, like, you know, we got Raekwon the Chef on the episode. Motherfuckers gonna, like, where's the website? Listen, Internets, we working on a new website. I'm letting the website sit right now. Homeboy Calvin is working on it. We about to deconstruct this shit. You know, it's in the works. Premium Pete, what's up, man?
What's going on, Combat?
Man, we've been running
100 miles and running.
100 miles and running, and I'm so glad we've been running, man. It seems like it's been for ages since we've had our friend Raekwon the Chef on the Combat Jack Show. What's up, sir?
What up, my G? What's going on?
Man,
Peace. What up, P?
What's going on, Ray?
How long ago was it since he was on the show?
2 years.
2 years?
Damn, 2 pieces?
Yeah.
2 years.
Man, that was a minute, kid.
Yo, you looking great, man.
Thank you, Lord. Thank
Yo,
you.
the jacket right now is looking like between Mad Max and who else? Who I'm trying to say? It's Mad
that was
Max.
good, Mad Max.
What is Mad? This shit is crazy right now.
Thank you, my nigga.
You looking prosperous.
Thank you.
You looking like some Fila shit, man.
Fly International, nigga. That's all.
Luxurious arts, man.
No question.
So
no question.
we got blessed with the album today. I listened to the whole thing a couple of times. There's a lot of things going on that album.
Yeah, it's a colorful, bright piece, right?
Colorful, bright piece. It's lush. You know, of course, it's always cinematic. Why Fila?
It's an expression for me, man.
Right.
You know, I made many albums that had a lot of concepts, but this one I wanted to just do me, make it a lifestyle piece, you know, and still let everybody know, 20-year veteran still know how to get on that mic and indulge with what's going on today and still be him, you know? That's what I was doing.
Now, are you waxing also nostalgically about the actual Fila brand?
Nah, this don't have nothing to do with the brand.
Right.
You know, a lot of people thought that, though, but, it was just the acronym, the F-I-L-A. You know, I didn't always dot it or whatever. So, and plus we know when we spell it like that, we think of Fila automatically.
Right.
But it was really just Fly International Luxurious Art. Mm-hmm. So that was an acronym for it. And then we would all call it Fila based on just not saying the whole title.
You know what's Fly International Luxurious Art?
Yeah.
The Fila suits.
Yeah.
These niggas need to stop fucking around.
We need them back.
Them niggas need to give me a bag, and I told you what I do. I uplift that brand because I had meetings with them before too, and I think they was just a little scared to really. They didn't understand the power of what the chef got, and when I told them, I said, "Yo, I would come in and want to design a whole different line, and we talking about it, but they didn't really see that far yet." Maybe they'll come around and
y'all got to bring the suit back, man.
Didn't you have a sneaker that you did with them?
Nah. I think they did a sneaker with Wu-Tang back in the day, though. This was before I even was piling with them.
What's crazy is the Nike Dunks, the Wu-Tang Dunks. I don't know if you ever seen those, the yellow and black ones. The crazy thing is,
the black and yellow pieces.
Like, those are one of the most rarest. Piece of I swear to God, like I mean, I don't know how much now. I know Greg Street has a pair, and a couple other people. But I'm talking about $9, $10, maybe $15,000 for these pair.
$15,000 for
at least of a pair of Nike Dunk High Wu-Tangs. That's what they're
now. I see you designing. I see you got the Lynx Beach.
Yeah,
the piece is kind of like a takeoff on the Snow Beach. Tell us about that, man.
It's just a retro piece. A company actually called me and wanted me to be attached to it. And they was willing to, cut me in a percentage of the company and really just let me do what I want to do, though. But I told them, I was like, yo, if y'all ain't coming with the quality, don't even waste your time talking to me, though. But they basically made this jacket better than the low jacket.
Really? How so?
Yeah, because of the material. Like, everything is about Gore-Tex. And, this jacket is crazy because it's like it's on some... nothing's peeling on the jacket, number one. Nothing could fade away on it. You can't burn the jacket up. You know what I mean? It's like it's just a lot of great material on there. It's a warm jacket. It's all these fly names that that they be saying that the shit is. But it's waterproof. It's got reflectors on it.
It's luxurious.
It's a dope jacket.
How much they gonna retail?
Yeah.
Like $600, right?
Probably be a little bit more.
Woo!
You gotta pay for that quality, man.
Because they want to make sure that people respect the quality of the brand that what they making though. But I liked it though, you know.
Now, how do you feel about the loyal low heads that might have something to say about?
I mean, you know, that's personal issues or whatever. I don't get caught up in that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, we know that Low created this whole vibe. Yes. You know what I mean? You know, shout out Polo, man. Shout out to Low Lives. I have nothing against none of that, man. You know, it might be something personal or whatever, but I think at the end of the day, you know, it's a retro jacket. You know what I mean? People acknowledge me wearing it back in the 90s, you know. And then, you know, you had all these other dudes starting to make the shit and say, yo, Ray is co-signing. And really, I had nothing to do with it.
Was that really happening? A lot of motherfuckers doing knockoffs?
Oh, I mean, you know, at the time with that particular jacket, right. You know, a lot of people was coming out saying, you know, assuming that Ray was co-signing it, and I wasn't. You know, I didn't really know what they was doing, but, you know, to each his own, man, you know. Now, I just felt like at the end of the day, why not make a official one and have me attached to it?
Put some money in your pocket.
Oh, yeah.
And think about it this way, too.
Get bread.
Things are inspired by things. Like even Just Blaze, he put out a Saucony with Pack of Shoes. The Snow Beach. You actually were behind that with him. And you know, I mean, it's off of a Snow Beach, but it's a Saucony. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So things are inspired, man. Things happen. I mean,
he talking about Chaconi, y'all, when he say Saucony. Though.
Yeah.
I had to jump up on that and find out that's what the real name of it is.
When does the jacket come out, man?
I think it's scheduled to come out in July.
Okay.
Don't quote me, but I think though they gonna move on it soon though.
So listen, let's jump into this album, man. Fly International, Luxurious Arts. You collect art?
Of course.
Really? What are some of your pieces that you collect?
You know, pictures and shit. Okay. You know, little trinkets around the crib. You know, I like all that statue type of shit. You know what I mean? The onyxes and all of that. But it just look good in your crib though. Yeah. Niggas don't know on the low rate like. I like designer shit.
Finer
like
things.
Interior decorating, fly niggas, suede walls, and, you know, bare rugs.
Suede walls, listen.
Bare rugs.
Yo, let's jump into the intro, man. I really like this intro because there's a lot going on.
Come on. It's the Combat Jack show,
You know it like a poet.
Pass by me.
Let me turn my shit up. I gotta hear this shit loud, man. Yeah, man.
Turn that volume up. Ray definitely ran out of space.
You want to see that passport? I'm showing it to you right now, real quick.
Yo, it's just building up.
He said Versace shower sprinkles.
Chef, could you hear me? I was in the zone. I ain't hear nothing the lady was saying. I ain't even think about her. Combat Jack show, y'all.
Yo.
Spikers, baby.
What's going on with that intro, man? They're talking about stamps. Has that ever happened to you that you ran out of spots for the stamps?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Them niggas style at me in customs and all that shit, saying, yo, your passport look dirty. It look filthy. I'm like, don't get mad at me. This is what y'all gave me to get in this bitch. It's like, I've been in so many spots, though, you know, all over the world that, yeah, I'm probably on like my 5th passport right now.
Nice. And what's up with the confusion that's going on? It's like she's talking to you. You
it's
in
like
your
I'm
zone.
I'm walking through the airport and, you know, people recognizing me. And you know, I'm in my own zone. I'm in my own zone, and I pull up to go to the gate. And she's checking my shit, and I'm just in my world.
And she's checking you, and she's saying, you're like, yo, I don't see none of this.
Like, yo, there's too many stamps in there, whatever, we can't get you on.
Where you going, though? Where are you going right now? Where's the plane going?
Wherever the fuck he wants.
Where's it going? Abu Dhabi, there you go.
Yo, when you were spitting out everything, like that's what's so dope about really how much you have contributed to the culture, because like it's like you embody everything that you fucking say. Like that shit just sounds fly. Even if motherfuckers like young cats right now that'll be listening don't even know what the fuck he's talking about, Google that shit because it sounds fucking fly.
Oh yeah, I was naming some fly wines though that I tasted.
Some
before.
Shit I don't even know, man.
Yeah, all them names that I was saying when it come to we drink that Jeroboam and all that. Like look that up. That's some real expensive cognac type shit.
Yo, let's go to 4 a.m.
Come on, my nigga.
You featuring
Turn it up, though, for him. Let them know it's real. And whoever listening, man, y'all niggas just turn y'all shit up, man.
You Yo, man, there's a lot going on here, right? The first thing that jumped out, man, and I know a lot of these millennials and young cats don't even understand what the fuck you talking about. How the hell did you even conceive to throw in Bernard Getz, Cazals? Like, nigga, like, what are you talking about right now?
Nah, I don't know if a lot of niggas remember Bernard Getz, though. But
I remember.
He went on that shooting spree shit. Yeah, little, typical frail white dude with the glasses on and shit. He had the ill frames on and shit.
Bigger than his face.
Yeah.
Are you
know what I mean?
Are you taking us back to that era, man?
I'm just rhyming, my nigga.
Right.
I mean, the beat make me go where I go, but I love all that energy shit too, though. So I just felt the track, and that was the first line that came to my head. Bernard Getz, this Cazals on. Like,
that shit is.
I got those on right now, the round looking.
You almost got to be an old New York cat to really understand that.
Yeah, the language.
And that's why I wanted to because I really appreciate that gem right there. Now, this album, we're going to get into this, but this album moves so much into the here and now. I'm saying into 2015.
True story.
With the and not just New York, but beyond New York. But this record right here took me back to 42nd Street.
Train station,
you're talking about the shell toes and the whole nine. Was that the intention?
Exactly, just to give you that fresh hip hop feeling again. I'm big on beats, man. And I think that this track right here, when I heard it, it took me back to the streets of New York. When MCing was so serious, and you had to have a crown, in order to even step in the big park and be an MC. So when I hear this beat, and it just reminds me of that old New York, that old York feeling,
Now, I know we all who lived through that, man. It was a dangerous time. It was a crazy time, but it was an amazing time. And the way y'all just go into, like, the cocaine talk, do you miss that element of New York, man?
I mean, New York rap has always been talking about struggle. We always had pain in our verses and, just giving y'all facts on what it is out here in these streets. But I missed that era, man, because it was a lot of creative artists really shining back then. New York definitely had a Super Friends team back then that was, everybody was authentic, and the way they talked, it was almost like we was talking the same shit, but we was talking different.
Right.
I miss them days, man,
Days were powerful.
When I think about the artists today, I don't see the creative movement happening when it comes to your pen.
The individuality, the originality, and the whole nine.
It's like, we took it serious because we was taught by the niggas that did it before us, and we know how important it was to make timeless music. And I just miss those days, though, when you could really wake up and be like, yo, I'm going to get this nigga album because I know he made a body of work that was special.
Yeah.
So that, I don't really get too many albums no more that I think is niggas really working hard on it. Just seem like niggas just doing what they want to do and get it off.
Now, it's always refreshing to hear Ghost on a Ray track, but he sound different. What's going on with him, man? His voice sounds mad different.
Yeah, I mean, when Ghost definitely laid his joint down, he told me though his voice was kind of like a little ripped up or whatever that day. But we had to do the best that we could, though, It
sounds great, though. It sounds like it's just a whole different...
But that's ill how you caught that, though, because this is true facts, though. He did feel a certain kind of way about his vocals. He was like, yo, I was kind of scratchy or whatever, because he really came in like the ninth inning and really just got to that record right there. But, of course, everybody knows Starks, man. He always going to come off and throw them lines at us, though.
Yep.
He had a cold, he just needed that Mucinex.
Mucinex, right? That
Mucinex
the
cleared him up.
nigga that come down in your nose and you got to knock him out and all that. You got to cut him.
Yo, so you go from this era, which is definitely retro, and then you go on this track, and you bring in like the present cat that's representing Uptown, that's representing New York right now, A$AP Rocky. The name of this record is called I Got Money.
Yeah.
It's produced by my nigga S1, man.
Yeah,
how's it? Were you in the studio with S1?
Nah, actually, S sent us the track. S is a good friend of mine.
He's a good dude, man.
Super good dude, solid dude. A lot of people don't really know. Like, he's responsible for a lot of bangers, a lot of hit records.
Yo, what up, S1?
Yeah, salute my brother S. Yeah, this was a track that we had tucked in our box for a long time. maybe like 2 years or something.
Right.
And you know, that's one thing about me, my nigga. I like to stash beats and come back to them later and see if they feel the way they feel when we first got it.
Kind of like money.
Yeah, and exactly. So and that particular track right there was like, I knew I wanted to throw a lick at it, but I knew I needed something to add on to it, though. So I went and got one of the young G's to get on it, though. It kind of felt like it needed a young boy on it as well.
Said cool like ice.
Keep it skating.
Yo, first and foremost, man, I never heard Rocky spit like that.
Wow.
I never heard him spit like that. He sounds like he's like you. He's kind of trying to expand, you know, his artistry, man. What made you get Rocky, man?
I like him, though. You know, I like him as a person, too, you know, but I think he got bars, and, you know, they got a movement uptown that, you know, reflects on how we used to do our thing. You know, I see here about his team. You know, I just felt like the track fit him, you know, like when I was making this album, of course, I was in my A&R mode. You know, shout out Perry on Dawn. That's my brother that basically, you know, when I sit down and I make the beats and the production and all that shit, me and him is looking at each other, G-checking each other like, yo, this shit is dope or nah, this shit ain't it. But that track right there, we felt like, yo, Rocky would be the nigga that
it's a perfect track. How'd you reach out to him? Did you reach out to him directly?
Yeah, it's so ill because I had met him a couple of months before that, though. You know, I had did some work with him. We was doing something, I think it was probably some mixtape throwaway shit. But I had went up to the studio and was fucking with him and shit. And we was just sitting up smoking blunts, laughing and shit, joking and shit. He mad funny and all that. But real cool, solid dude, man. And I told him, you know, I'm going to come back around and see you for something, you know. And he was like, yo, Chef, whatever, yo, I love to work with you, whatever, you know. Plus you coming through holding me down on something because, you know, they called me in for something.
Right.
So that was my first introduction on meeting them. And the vibe, the energy was real good. It was solid. And I told him, yo, when I come back, I'm going to have something for you.
It's perfect. Now the record took a long time to make. What took this record so long to make, man?
Just trying to make it, you know, something that niggas could feel, man. Right. You know, I don't never want to be rushing shit. You know,
and you don't have to rush right now. I mean, even if you didn't make another record, your legend is etched in the book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I respect it, man. I mean, you know, I work hard, B. You know, like I said, it was just all about just trying to make a body of work that people could feel. You know what I mean? I always want niggas to know when my music, it gotta have some kind of feeling attached. If it ain't got that, then I don't need to be giving y'all nothing. So I take my time. Like you said, you know, it's important for a nigga that been in the business as long as I've been to really make shit that stick. You know what I mean? And I really wanted to make an album that motherfucker could be like, yo, that nigga ain't even move. He ain't even go nowhere. So it just took that time. But when we was going to drop it, because we was going to drop it last year, fourth quarter, you know, and that wasn't even really my season, but you know, I felt like this album was more summerish anyway, but I didn't drop it because the Wu-Tang album was actually coming at the same time.
Better Tomorrow,
like,
right?
Yeah, Better Tomorrow album. And, you know, I would never want to clash with my crew when it comes to dropping an album at the same time. Like, I feel like that's not cool, you know what I mean? So I put my shit on the back burner and I jumped in line with the crew and, you know, supported that shit. But I knew that at a certain time that this album had to come out next year.
So the album was completed already?
Yeah, it was.
All the tracks was already polished and the whole nine?
Yeah, it was polished up. You know, I didn't really have to go back in. I thought about going back in and redo some more tracks and shit and just try to make it feel good. But when I listened to it again, because when I put it on the shelf, I ain't even listened to it no more. It was more like leave it over there and, you know, come back to it. But we know that this is a great album. And when we came back to it, I listened to it again. I blasted it because, you know, I like to hear my shit loud. I got to hear it, you know. And it felt new again. So I'm like, yo, I ain't touching this shit. This it's going to come out the way it was supposed to, you know. And that's what it was.
Now, how was it, man, A&R in your own project, man? Is this the first time you fully delved into the A&R mode?
Nah, I've been doing this shit since my second solo album, Immobilarity.
Right.
You know, just really trying to, you know, get more into making great albums, you know. When we made Cuban Links, it was like, you know, I wasn't fully prepared to make an album, you know, by myself. You know, but after that, you know, I started to be like, yo, I can handle this shit now. I could go out there and, you know, I don't need RZA to hold my hand on making an album, you know? And we just started working, B.
Is there any particular reason why RZA's not on the album?
I mean, you know, RZA, me and Riz, we go in and out sometimes.
I love that, though.
Through our
that's
issues,
family.
That's brotherhood,
I love that,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We fight a lot or whatever based on principles and shit, you know, but nah, he just wasn't on this one at the moment, though, you know. If he would have had something, I'm sure it would have happened, but at the time, he was in his movie world and, you know, we was going through our little dilemmas, so, you know, you know how it be.
Now, I read somewhere that you know, in terms of you also getting, like, some feedback that Ghost really was giving you some solid feedback on this album as well as you was creating it. Is that true?
Yeah. You talking about Fila, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
talking about
you know,
Fila?
this album,
yes.
right? Yeah.
It's shit that we in the middle of right now.
Yeah, all right. But nah, I mean, you know, overall, you know, like I said, Ghost is moving around. See, the whole clan is moving around, really. You know, and niggas don't know from back in 93, we always said when we come in as a whole, we would eventually, you know, do our own thing. And now these are the times now, you know, so everybody's moving in their own way. You know, niggas got to pay their bills and, you know, kids is going to college and all that shit. You got to have that bag, that mortgage money. So, you know, it ain't one bag that's big enough for all of us, you know, so everybody's dipping and diving. And, yeah, I caught Ghost, you know, at the final of handing this album in, and, you know, he had came to one of my listening sessions, you know, just to stick his ear in and be like, let me see what you up to, my nigga. And he heard it, and he was like, he was impressed. He was like, yo, you got a masterpiece on your hand.
Nice.
He's like, you know I need in. I'm like, nigga, it's yours anyway. Just do what you want to do. And he picked the tracks that he felt that he wanted to get on, and of course he wanted to get on that 4 in the morning shit.
My favorite verse on here is when you say drugs equal money, money equals sunny days.
Yeah,
that's poetry, my nigga.
Drugs equal
poetry in motion.
That's street poetry right there, B.
My nigga, that's how we always took it. If we had a bag, B.
Nah, but they always did that. Yo, Ray, you know what? Before we started the episode, we were talking about how, you know, this album really speaks to the people. Like, you always have put out a quality, you know, something quality where it's like, you know, you're not just putting something out to put out. But what I like about this album is everybody got on the features, even the young boys. It's like you helping, you paying it forward. You know, you moving the culture. And then, like, the older dudes is kind of like just shows how genuine your relationships are. Yeah. You know, in the culture.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's important, man. I mean, like I said, you know, trying to still dance 20 years later and still adapt to what's going on, you know, it took a lot of brainstorming for me because I always wanted to, you know, how I'm going to keep myself in a loop.
Right.
You know, so.
That's smart, though, man. You can't keep yourself in a loop just focusing on yourself.
Exactly.
After a while, you got to start, you know what?
You got to merge. You got to do certain things.
You got to evolve, man.
Yeah, you got to do them things that make yourself still be here. And, you know, like I said, for me, you know, I always take it like when you see a dude that been in the game for a long time and then he disappeared, it's a decision.
Yeah, it is, man.
It ain't like I think niggas just lose. I think it's just niggas just don't want to do it no more. For me, I'm always moving around. I'm out there in the streets. I'm going to them parties. I'm, you know, listening to what niggas is doing. So I guess that's my way of still being here. You know what I mean? But when it comes to making them albums, I'm definitely going to sit down and make something that I know that people's going to say, yo, Ray, that's you.
Yeah.
You know, if you come with something that's too far away different, you going to tell me. You know what I mean? People going to tell me. So
you know they going to talk. You know these internets, man.
Yeah, so I was just having fun, man.
Let's talk about this next track, man. Wall to Wall, featuring French Montana and Busta.
Yeah.
It's produced by She the God and Snaz. Who's She the God?
She the God is this chick. She from Toronto. It's a female. My brother Perryon, he actually manages the chick. She makes beats and shit, you know, female. And when she came with this beat, I'm like, he brought the shit to my table. I'm like, yo, who made this a girl? He's like, yeah, her name is She the God. I'm like, what? I'm like, let me hear this shit loud. You know, we was in the studio and he just knocked it for me. And one thing about me, I like to put my ear close to the speaker. I might be losing my ears one day. You know, go deaf on y'all niggas for some dumb shit.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. But just listening to this shit like, damn, this shit is really like, it's a tough beat. It's solid. And I met her. She was mad cool and shit, and she was real passionate about hip hop. And I'm like, yo, shorty, I'm gonna put this on the album.
Yo, I gotta salute you, man, because you know we could talk all this talk, man, but hip hop is still, you know, very like, you know, sexist. You know what I'm saying? And regardless how a track might sound, a nigga might be like, yeah, I can't rap on no chick's beat. Yeah. So I salute you for that, man. I really applaud this, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I just, you know, like I said, man, you know, I gave her a shot because I'm into giving people a shot. You know,
she delivered.
Yeah, you know, and that's the exciting thing about this record is that, you know, you can't tell who's the giants from the little ones. You know what I mean? From the B, from the B classes to the first class. You know, everybody delivered, you know, from Scram Jones to S1 to, you know, everybody just gave me some quality shit, and I really felt like all the production was all on the same level.
Yeah.
You know, and her being a girl, it was like, wow, I was impressed though, because I ain't really, you know, it's one thing to hear a chick rhyming, but to hear her making beats, you like, run that beat by me again, man, you know. But she's serious with it.
But let's run this beat right now, man. Wall of War.
Word. Shout out my man Snaz too. He's a co-producer on that joint as well.
And I don't mean to talk over or try to, but I'm looking at She the God. I'm like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, she got a little name.
That's crazy. Let's jump into this.
She the God. Drop that.
Yo, man, it's good to hear Bus, man. It's always good to hear
mentor,
Bus.
Man.
Bus never slacks.
Never misses.
Never misses.
Let me tell you something about that amazing gentleman right there. His energy, you know, his cadence. You know, when I talk to him, you know, it's a certain energy that he gives me when he's just building, you know. Bus is a serious dude, you know, and you know, when I sit there and I think about somebody who had been in it as long as I've been in it, you know, he on his quarter piece right now.
Yes.
You know, and still able to stay relevant, stay consistent. His work game, his work ethic is so phenomenal. Like, I never seen an artist work as hard as this kid. You know, when it comes to really...
It's still working.
Yeah, I mean, that's his thing, man. Like, I've been around him nights and, you know, he's like a machine. You know, you come to his crib, this nigga got like fucking 500 CDs and shit, mixtapes. Like, he's studying everything and, you know, he's staying on top of his producers. And, you know, to me, that's motivating, though, just to see a general that been in the game so long still stay relevant. I feel like, you know, I'm cut from his cloth.
Right. Now, when the track was playing, you said that's your
mentor.
Like, how so, man?
Because it's like, you know, in this game, you know, we run into a lot of cats and, you know, some niggas is jokers and some niggas is real and some niggas is just superb with it.
Right.
You know, when he fall on that side of the plate with me, you know, his energy always showed love. You know, he been on multiple records with us, you know, and he pretty much know me. Like, you know, when I could sit down and talk to a nigga that could say everything that
you're thinking.
that I'm thinking or I think he might not know,
right.
He know.
Right.
And he studied Wu-Tang and he studied our history for so long because Bus knew niggas. He knew about niggas in the street before we actually, you know, appeared.
Clicked up, right.
Yeah, clicked up. And he always was there as a motivational person in my life, you know, especially when I was making Cuban Links 2. I don't know if you knew, though, but he was an executive producer of that album.
Superb album, man.
You know, and his
definitely
energy
lived up to his expectations.
Yeah, so, you know, I got to give some of that credit to that man because he definitely, you know, was putting his ears and eyes on the situation and giving me good wisdom and words of, and, you know, strong advice, you know, to really get back where I need to be because at that time when I was making that album, I was going through my little love hella right bullshit, right. You know what I mean? Trying to find myself and dealing with a lot of shit. And me and him would sit up late nights and just really rap and he'd just be like drilling me about real shit. I never forget that, you know?
Now, sorry, go ahead. Man.
Yeah, no, with Busta, it's funny you saying that because at Clark Kent's 4th of July party, you know, I got to see something from Busta that really opened my eyes and my heart, like of how much he embodies hip-hop in the culture. Mm-hmm. He had his son with him, young boy, like 12, and he was introducing him to everybody, Dante Ross, and explaining what Dante Ross did for him, and introducing him to Clark, Scratch, Sauce Money, but explaining to his son in such a way of like, yo, when dad didn't have really much, this guy signed me, or this guy did this for me.
Exactly.
Yo, give him a hug, or like, and I just found that to be so amazing to tell your son every single thing that happened in not only his career, but also just hip hop, man.
Yo, we got to get Bus in the booth, man.
I mean, yeah.
We got to get him in the booth, man.
He's serious, man,
Yeah,
you know, when it comes to representing this flagship of hip-hop.
Yes,
like,
sir.
You cannot, you know, like I always tell him, like, you know, your name is in them books, B. You know, when you think of that history book,
etched in the books, man.
He's already, like, embedded in it. And he's a strong lyricist, too, man. Like, you know, not only got a great ear for production and music, but he has that lyrical, like it could be mad niggas I get on the track with, but I get on with him. This nigga make me work. You know what I mean? I'm keeping 100 P. He make me work, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, because he's so, he knows how to rhyme to anything.
Right.
Fast, slow.
Jamaican.
You know, Jamaican,
Pop.
you know, because you know he have Jamaican anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of the fans might not know.
I love it when he
Busted,
does the Jamaican lanes, man.
You know, that nigga's impeccable, man. But for the most part, he's a true MC, man. And I salute him.
So how'd y'all pull in French Montana, man?
You know, we know French from, you know, the early days of his career, you know, being down with the Smack DVDs and, you know, just watching him do his dance for a long time. You know, like one thing I could say is that man is a hard worker and, you know, he worked his way to stardom.
He went through a lot of shit, like the whole Max B shit and the whole nine.
Yeah, shout out his man, shout out Max, you know, he away right now. You know, that's his heart, man, and, you know, always something good come out of something when you got a team, you know. And I know Max is proud of him, and, you know, I'm sure he holding Max down. But French is a good dude, man. You know, I felt that this track fit him. I reached out to him. Yo, my nigga, check this out. You know, see if you could fuck with this. And I gave him 2 beats, actually.
Right.
And he chose this one, you know, and this was the one that I really wanted him to tackle. And he bodied it, man. You know, it took him 48 hours, man.
48 hours.
Yeah, he smashed it. He put the hook on there for me and everything, too.
What I really like about French is he went from being this cat that a lot of cats didn't really necessarily respect his artistry. Mm-hmm. And he was like, fuck y'all. And he just continued to do it to a point where motherfuckers still challenge other cats that does their job well. Mm-hmm. Cats don't really, he's already conditioned cats to hear their voice on the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the bars on this shit is crazy.
Nah, he was spitting, kid. He was, you know, he was spitting. He had Chainz popping bottles out. Fall rock.
Now, the crazy thing is, I'm listening to this album, and up until this point, it's like all the New York cats is on here. Before you start traveling, I know there's another record after here that's you solo, but was that by design that you're gonna make this the first half is New York and then travel out into different regions?
You know what's so crazy is just that I was just really lining up the album because that's what we do. You know, when we finish with all the product, you know, when we start lining them up, we'll go first, we'll go second, we'll go last, and it was just organically, you know, pacing like that. I ain't look at it like that. Like you said, like the New York breed was just heavy.
Like if this was a cassette, this would be the New York side, and then this be the, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, but that's what's up though. I mean,
A and B.
Yeah, A and B.
Yeah, but he milked the track.
That's
though,
crazy.
So definitely, it was hard body.
Yeah, let's go to this track, man. Fila is the title track.
Okay.
And it's you. And it's my nigga 2 Chainz.
Yeah, that's my nigga.
And this one, Fila is produced by Scram also.
Scram Jones, yeah. Ooh-wee. See, a lot of times, a lot of niggas don't know Scram. You know, me and Scram been doing a lot of work for like the last couple of years.
Right.
From Cuban Links 2, maybe even earlier before.
Right.
You know, we did a lot of mixtapes together. You know, Lost Jury, Unexpected Victory. Like Scram, you know what I call Scram? Scram is like that MC that needs to have a producer that could find him. You know, Scram is like a professor at making beats. So you could be a new cat, and if he feel you, he will have something in his stash box for you, and he will help you get that credibility that you need.
Right.
You know, in the game, because you're gonna always get a banging track from Scram.
Right.
But on this particular album, I'm just watching him grow, you know, as a producer and really. You know, because Scram got records with everybody, man. Like you can't name one motherfucker really that Scram ain't worked with.
Right.
You know, but I respect him, man. You know, he's definitely one of them producers that, you know, I wouldn't call him an underdog, but I would call him that
he's slept on.
Yeah, he's definitely a little underrated, but you know, he's definitely always a dude that is going to shoot a 3-pointer and hit.
Let's jump into this track, man. But what's perfect about this track is it fits you. And it fits 2 Chainz, man. This shit is so trippy, man. Let's jump into it.
And Scram Jones on his Dean Martin.
Fila.
Yeah, he definitely on his Dean Martin.
Yo, why 2 Chainz?
That's my nigga, man. Good nigga, man. I live in Atlanta too.
Okay.
You know, my family is out there, you know, my children and all that.
Nice.
And when I was out there, me and him met. We met one time at the car wash. And, you know, he came over like a gentleman. Yo, my name Titty Boy, what up, you know.
Oh, so you met him through the Titty Boy era.
Yeah, the Titty Boy era, definitely. And, you know, boom, he was mad cool and shit. And I was like, yo, I need some weed, man. I need some weed. He wound up becoming my weed connect.
Really?
You know what I mean? He would give me whatever I want out there. And, you know, we would have good conversations. And I always believed in him because it was
really?
Like, yeah.
So hold on. You really believe your weed man was going to be this nigga?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is real life right here.
Right.
I mean, you know, like I said, though, you know, he would bring me trees and, you know, whatever I needed. He felt like, I guess, you know, yo, got the New York homie in town. So let me make sure whatever he need, he good. And that's how he was handling me. You know, I would call him. You know, we'd be doing wild shit. Like, you know, this is back when I had the Maybach. I would meet him, you know, and go get the trees, and he'd see me pushing this shit and be like, yo, what the fuck you driving this big shit with Dolo? You coming to the hood, coming to get trees? I'm like, my nigga, I need it right now, man. I don't give a fuck about nothing.
That.
But he wound up being a good friend of mine, and, you know, I remember where, you know, he was, you know, still on his come up.
Yes.
And I always told him, like, yo, you a talent, B. Like, you know,
you saw
whatever.
It. You definitely saw it.
I seen it. You know, he asked to do a track with me. You know, back then we did something for fun, but, you know, as I seen him starting to come up and emerge in the game, even when we seen each other afterwards, I seen him like, yo, I'm proud of you, my nigga. Like, I knew that you was, you know, told you to work hard and stay at your craft. And he's like, yo, Chef, my nigga, yo, you always believe in me. Yo, thank you. And we always been solid.
Right.
So when it came down to doing this track right here, it goes back to I had my A&R hat on and said, I need one of my niggas from the South right now to really, you know, talk for me right now. You know, it was a slow track. This track kind of like was inspired by listening to Jay-Z's Hard Knock Life. You know, that track, you know, this song not
the Annie joint.
You know, I felt like when Scram made this beat, it was kind of like the cousin or something, somewhere around it, kind of slow.
The kids could enjoy it, right?
Yeah, one of them type of tracks that you could sit in front of the stoop of the building and just, you know, everybody's out, you know, water fights and all that shit. And the track was just real humble and real tough at the same time. This beat remind me of like a big beat, but then it remind me of like a soft beat a little bit. You know, it had both combinations, and I just said, yo, who could really come with the slow flow and rip it? And, you know, I was like, yo, let me call my homie up, and he did what he's supposed to do.
He's like a mob boss, you know, calling people up and reaching out.
Yeah, yo, that's how a nigga was doing, just calling up niggas.
I see it like that. But did you ever have any thoughts of maybe putting like you know, I know you got a relationship with Jay.
Yeah,
you know, putting him on one of these projects. You're gonna save it for another one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it just depends though. Like I said, certain tracks,
it's gotta fit.
Certain tracks, I'm already calculating who I feel fit on it.
Right.
You know, of course, I ain't really get a chance to really do nothing with the big homie yet, but I got something in store for him though. You know, when it comes to working on some other shit though.
Now, when you putting this record together, man, and you hearing the tracks. And you thinking like who's gonna be good on this track? Are you thinking only from like a artistic perspective, or are you also being calculating from like a business perspective? Like, you know what I'm saying, fan base.
I mean both. I'm gonna keep it funky.
That's smart.
Both. You know, just really looking at the dudes that's winning and also looking how the chemistry is. You know, I think it's so important, you know, for artists to really dictate what they want their record to feel and sound like. You know, a lot of times dudes listen to their labels or, you know, they do that. Like, I never was that type of dude. I always went with what I felt first. You know, I even tell my team that I'm opinionated, but once I got my mind and stone on what I want to do, I'm doing it. You know, and yeah, Chainz was the first one that came to my head with the track. And, you know, like I said, this is me just experimenting, you know, thinking that he may like the track, you know, and he could have been like, nah, Chef, I don't really like it, you know. But, the nigga loved it, and he just smashed it. You know what I mean?
You know what I also salute you on is, like I said, how funny we are as New York. You know, as you being a legend and as New York fans, I know, like nobody questions your pedigree. You know what I'm saying? But I know New York is funny. Like, we don't fuck with Chainz like that and this and that. You know what I'm saying?
You remember when Chainz came to SOBs back in the days, and I think it was maybe his first time coming up here. And when
he had the first with the
ride around, I'm getting it.
Yeah,
exactly. Ride around when I'm getting it. Ride around, I'm getting it.
Yeah, they packed that place out.
Yeah, now I was there that night. You know what I mean?
And he killed it.
Yeah, he killed it. You know, and I had told New York like, yo, this is a good friend of mine right here. You know, from the A, and you know, I'm big in the A. They love me out there.
Nice.
Just from working with Outkast and really being one of the first rappers to really,
that was a crazy, joint with you and the
vibe
cast.
With South niggas. I was like one of the New York niggas, one of the first. And one thing about the A, they don't forget.
Right.
You know, they don't forget, and they always, you know, anywhere I go, niggas like, yo, man, you always show us love out here, man. But yeah, man, like I said, Chainz was somebody that I knew he was getting busy at that time on the mic, and he had his weight up, and it just made sense, you know, to get back to the, you know, the South though, because they fuck with real niggas.
Most definitely.
I want to see a video with this one, man.
Yeah,
can we get a video with this one, man?
Oh yeah, you already know.
In the A, pause.
You know I'm already
yo.
No, we need to see it. Like I said, in the A, pause.
Yo, let's go to a quick break, man.
What's up?
You tuned into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com. We got Raekwon, the chef in here. It's Fila niggas. Fly international luxurious arts. F your radio, F your TV show, and F your podcast.
Be right back.
Nigga.
Cheer.
What it do, this Kevin Gates, and right now you listening to the Combat Jack Show. I don't get tired.
Yo, internet, you tuned into the Combat Jack Show, the CombatJackShow.com. We got Shala in the building, Raekwon, the chef.
Yeah.
We in the middle of this glorious, luxurious masterpiece. Fila. You know what I'm saying? Fila, fly. International luxurious arts. I don't want to get tongue twisted because a lot of fly shit going on right now. I'm loving this music, man.
You got it.
I'm loving this. Let's continue, man.
Come on.
Let's continue going, man. So you went to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? You got Titty Boy. You know what I'm saying? You got the 2 Chainz God on this joint.
Yeah.
And now this next joint.
2 necklaces. Right.
This next joint, you flew out to Cali.
Woo.
Oh, okay.
Like, talk about this 1-2-1-2 track and the conversation you had with the big dog, Snoop, D-O-double-G, about the concept of this record, man.
Hey, yo, you know, yeah, like I said, this record right here was produced by Scoop DeVille. Scoop is a good, solid producer. You know,
he's come up.
He worked with a lot of cats, you know, from Kendrick Lamar and, you know, the whole TDE family. You know, from working with Snoop and all them. You know, I met him out there in Cali, and he was playing some beats, and he played this one first for me. He played this track right here, and I'm like, damn, you ripped up the Biz 1-2-1-2. I'm like, yo, you chewed on this shit. And he played it loud for me to where it was thumping. I think we might have had some kind of vehicle that was loud out there or something. And I just kept hearing it, and I'm like, yo, this shit is mean. And then automatically, you know, being on the West Coast, I felt like we needed a West Coast presence. And like you said, it goes back to me being strategic and making an album that could, you know, penetrate all parts of the market in the game. You know, and LA is definitely one of our big markets. And I'm like, yo, I got to go get the king of the West. So, you know, we was able to reach out to Snoop. And, you know, it was just like, yo, Snoop was like, no problem. See, a lot of niggas don't know Snoop is a real deal nigga. Like, he fucks with niggas heavy, man.
Yes.
You know, and he's so humble and respectful, and he make you feel comfortable when you in the city and all that, you know. And I had called him and told him, like, yo, Unc, I need you on this right here. This one, I need you to, you know,
shizzle,
and I know,
nizzle.
you know, and his whole thing is, you know, Snoop can rhyme to anything, too.
Yes.
He's like a buster. Like, he rhymes slow, fast, whichever one you want. Me, particularly, I wanted him to rhyme fast on this track.
There's an urgency in his voice on this joint, man.
Yeah. I mean, he just, like I said, he just went off on it, you know, and, you know, I had the opportunity to get the video done with him, so
nice.
You're going to see that real soon.
Nice.
That might drop within the next couple of days.
I'm looking for that shit.
How was the trees out there with him?
Oh, my God. You know, this nigga, he came with like a fucking half a trunk
pillows.
He came with like a half a trunk of fucking dynamite, you know, rolling up fucking extendos and all this shit. And
Godfathers.
Yeah, but he's a genuine dude, though,
Yeah, man.
And when he got on the track, it was like, I didn't hear him rhyme fast in a long time. But he was just melting it. He was just melting it. And when he sent it back to me, it was like, oh, shit. We had more bars of Snoop on this record, but it wasn't like, the record had to be composed again because he threw so many bars down. You know what I mean? So, it was like me and him was going back and forth through a couple of tracks, but I had to take some of it off because the record, it wasn't like composing right. It wasn't, so we had to do a couple of, it wasn't structuring the way we wanted it, so we had to cut a couple of the bars off, but he was going in, man.
Yo, let's go into this, man. Let's give these
it's a solid track, right, man.
1 2 1 2 featuring Snoop Dogg.
Featuring the vet.
Fire.
You said, what is a New York record? That's a New York record.
Yeah, I feel like
it's
too,
a New York record.
Yeah.
You got Biz on there.
Yeah.
You got the keys, you know what I'm saying? You got the urgency.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And what I love about this record, man, is we come a long way from Snoop knocking over the buildings. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, Snoop is a humble dude, man.
Yes.
At that time, he was finding himself and
we was all
going through his
finding
changes.
ourselves.
Yeah, But one thing I could say about him is that I could reflect back when we was at the Source Awards, the first Source Awards, and Snoop came through. I remember that day clear as day. This was the first Source Awards. And when he came in and shit, he might have thought for a second that niggas ain't respect him.
Right.
But we all loved this shit from Deep Cover to the
so
Chronic.
Love.
And he got on stage and I guess he might have felt a little funny shit. He got up there, I remember he said, I don't got love. Y'all don't got love for the West Coast. Y'all got love for Snoop Dogg. And it's like he said it in a way where it's like, nigga, y'all know I got love for y'all, but y'all don't got love for me. And then everybody went crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, just was bigging him up. And ever since then, he always been solid, man, So my thing is, like, I go off a nigga heart, man. You could tell that Snoop is a good dude, you know what I mean? And he's definitely one of the pioneers in the new generation back then, from the 90s cats. Snoop was already on, from doing Deep Cover and, his album, The Chronic, that album came out, what was it, like 92 or something?
92.
Yeah, some shit like that.
92, B.
Yeah, I mean, these niggas, they whole movement out there inspired niggas out here to link up and become they family. Really respect that, you have a team, NWA. When you think of NWA, all these niggas was like real niggas to us, and when he came up here, he definitely embraced the town and embraced us, and he was definitely a big Wu fan. So I just felt like, yo, man, I want to do a track with the legend, though.
Now, I'm looking forward to this video, B.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of smoke in it.
Is there chicks in the video, man?
I'm going to let you see it.
Okay.
We got to wait and see that. Yeah. But when you speak about a team, even on West Coast, man, I think about just like the Wu in general, man. Like it's amazing to me. I mean, how like when you think of New York or even Staten Island, like you can't think of Staten Island without thinking of Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
And Staten Island is not like what, like I was telling you earlier, like I'm a Brooklyn dude, so I was always like, I didn't understand Staten Island until I really was able to be there for a while. Mm-hmm. But what you have contributed to is crazy, man. I mean, if you think about it, like Shaheem, King Tut, and then, but then like it's everything is Wu-Tang, man.
You know what it is, man? It's just that, one thing about Shaolin, it's like all different boroughs in one borough. You got dudes from, Park Hill, Stapleton, West Brighton, Manus Harbor, Port Richmond, everybody's all spread it out. And, everybody don't also really fully get along with each other.
Yeah.
But
it's territorial.
Niggas do, it's definitely territorial, but niggas do respect what Wu-Tang brought to the town, far as that map thing, putting us on the map. And back then, that's what even made Wu-Tang even appears, because we wanted recognition on Staten Island. Like, when you think of boroughs, niggas don't really say Staten Island, and that bothered Staten Island niggas, because Staten Island not
one
only...
of the 5 boroughs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it was like everybody would say every other borough and forget Staten Island, and that really got us angry because, even in jails or whatever, Staten Island names niggas is there. You know, you can't never discredit a real Staten Island nigga because he gonna come in there and let you know he from Staten.
Right.
And he gonna let you know he get busy.
He's not gonna front,
especially if he moved to that 120 precinct and then made it to the fucking to the bookings or the boat or the Rikers. Let me tell you something, Combat. Going into Park Hill, I remember back in the day when the crack era was high. I remember they used to have like people jumping on cars, man. Like you couldn't go into Park Hill, man. I mean, I don't know about now, but back in the day, you could not go into Park Hill if you didn't know anybody.
Exactly. All I know is this morning, I woke up and I was talking to my wife, and I was like, "We got Raekwon on the show," and my daughter, 7 years old, she's like, "Who's Raekwon?" I was like, "He's part of the Wu." So let me go back. Like a couple of years ago, I bought her like a little Wu T-shirt, right? And she, for some reason, she loved the Wu. Like that's her favorite. I'm not bullshitting. Wow. She don't know nothing about
7.
She's 7 now.
Wow.
And then
I got
so
a 6-year-old. Wow. So I can relate.
So we was online, and I was looking at you. The illest logo besides the Wu is the Hello Kitty Wu. You see the Hello Kitty Wu? That shit is so
Hello
fly.
Kitty,
and my daughter was like, "Oh, I gotta get the T-shirt." So now I gotta find the Wu Hello Kitty joint.
Yeah, they put the Wu on LeBron's forehead. You tell me somebody's seen that, man. I mean,
we didn't see that shit. With the Hello Kitty shit.
Yeah,
is the craziest shit, man.
International shit.
Let's go into this next track. I love this track, man. Well, not the next track, but the next track we jumping into, man. Soundboy Kill featuring Melanie Fiona and Assassin.
Yeah, Assassin.
Like once again, man, like I said, man, you know, what is New York? But to me, the quintessential New York hip hop track is when you throw that little hip hop flavor in there. You know what I'm saying? This one is produced by Jerry. How is it working with Jerry Wonder, man?
Oh, yo, he's a genius, man. You know, when I think of Jerry Wonder, I think of like Quincy Jones. Right. You know, his track record is just so stupid. You know, it's so crazy because I met Jerry years ago when I had did the Sweetest Thing remix with Akon,
right?
With Akon, Wayne, and Wyclef,
right?
And Jerry was always in the back, silent dude, you know, because he's the cousin of Wyclef.
Yes.
And I didn't know that he had so much.
Because he played the back so
much
crazy.
Fucking work.
Right.
You know, one time I came to his studio, he got like one of the top studios in the city, Platinum Studios, and I had went up there with a couple of my people that I work with, and me and him started talking. I said, "I know you, Ray." He said, "Yeah, yo, Ray, you know, you've been around me." Blah, blah.
Stop fronting, man.
Like, yo, because I didn't really know him like that. I never really seen him I only seen him one time, and like I say, he was always quiet. But you know, when he started playing shit, and then he plays some instruments, and then he got production, and then he got this whole staff of music ambassadors around him that really take the music to another level. I'm like, yo, I want to work with you. And what happened was that we wound up being so close that he wound up coming in as an executive producer to this project, you know, because I knew that he would bring another sound to the table and a more brighter sound.
I didn't know he was executive producer.
Yeah, he's one of the executive producers on this album, you know, where he helped me compose and make this whole project be what it is. And he's a real humble dude, but his track record is just stupid. I mean, it goes from here, like, across the world, you know. And then I started to notice that a lot of dudes in the game was sneaking up there going to holler at him on some, yo, Jerry, I need you to do this, or yo, Jerry, I need you to do that. And he always been a hip-hop dude, you know. So when me and him started clicking, you know, of course, the energies, they merged, you know, and he just started to play things over and, you know, do certain things. So I said to myself, I need this nigga to really come in and help me make records for women and other, you know, other genres as well. You know, because I always want to challenge myself with great music as well as hardcore music. Right. You know, that's why I said this album is more lifestyle, because I wanted to do everything. I wanted to touch you, your kids, everybody, like. And I knew that he had the power to help me make it. And he came with this track right here, Soundboy Kill It, which was basically, it was a big body beat that him and Swiss produced together, you know, and
it's got that Swiss. Yeah,
Swiss is a co-producer on this track as well. And he took it back to the project shit for me. And I told him, you know, now we did that one. Now I need you to give me something for the females. And that was the other record, All I Got Is You.
Okay.
You know, that he did with me and Estelle as well.
Yeah.
But he's a super lyrical producer / everything. Like this nigga, you know, he'd take a cup and be banging on a cup, and next thing you know, he turned the shit into some motherfucking orchestra shit.
Now, did he pull an Assassin, or did you pull an Assassin on this?
He
one?
actually reached out to Assassin for me. You know,
Assassin's been quiet for a while, man.
Yeah, but he's a big dude though. You know, and you know, of course, I grew up on reggae and Jamaican, you know, culture, and I definitely wanted to have that presence on there. And see why I said the album, you know, international. Now we start to jump into international artists, you know, attaching themselves to this album, like an Estelle. She's from London.
Yes.
You know, Melanie Fiona, she's from Canada.
Them UK boys love the reggae shit, man.
Yeah, you know, and reggae is the shit that we grew up on. And Assassin remind me so much of a new bounty killer type of individual, you know, because Bounty is a good friend of mine as well. And I needed somebody that could really bring that to the table. And Assassin was the new prince in Jamaica. So I was like, yo, Jerry, if you could get him, tell him, you know, I want to holler at him. He got me on the phone with him. I said, yo, my bro, bless up. Yo, I need your presence on him, man, you know. And he was like, enough said, and he handled that.
Yo, let's jump into this, man.
Shit.
That shit right there is exhausting, B.
That shit
is so turned.
That shit remind me of like when I was making this track. It remind me of like you remember the Sound Clashes.
Yes.
With Ninja versus Super Cat.
Yeah.
You know, this is how I felt
Super
like the
Cat.
track. Yeah, you know, shout out Super. You know what I mean? The Cat. You know, he's a real nigga too. Good friend of ours. Yeah, man, it's just reminding me of like some stadium. You know,
big ass
sounds,
speakers, packed up on top of
Infinity Machine speakers, big, or you know the West Indian culture and the hip hop culture clashing together. You know, I felt like this record right here would expand more internationally because of the sound of how big it sounds.
Right.
See, because this record, you know, it's more driven for like a stadium.
Yes.
You know, I wanted to have that stadium sound of feelings to this record.
Stadium status.
Yeah, stadium status. So I could come up in there and play something that would have everybody up, everybody dancing, and then next thing you know, out of nowhere, you know, you see my Jamaican brother come in and just
black people globally, when you hear this record, do not kill another black man.
Yeah, man.
Do not do that. Do not do that right here. Because this record is murderous.
Yeah,
yo,
man.
Let's go to this next record. Now, how do I pronounce this next record, man? Reverie.
Yeah.
What's the meaning of that, man?
I don't know. It just sounded fly. We just...
So this is another joint out of your vocabulary, out of your dictionary?
Forget about it.
I forgot. I mean, reverie does mean something, but I just forgot what it was. But
kind of like a dream, kind of some shit, or
I don't know. We might have to Google that.
They've been making their own English.
Yo, Tumbo, look it up, man. So this one you got Ghost again,
yeah,
and you got Rick Ross,
yeah.
Now, how did that come about, man?
You know this. The producer actually lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. His name is Blue Rocks.
Right.
Yeah, Blue Rocks. He appeared on Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang with me before. He's like one of my silent hitman producers on the low. One day we was in the studio and shit in the A, and we was actually working on some mixtape stuff, and I think he played this shit by accident. And I'm like, yo, let me hear that shit. And the next thing you know, he played it back, and you know, automatically I said to myself, this is my kind of shit. This is my kind of fucking sound, you know. And all I kept thinking about in this beat was just driving a Wraith through the rain, dodging. Imagine you in a hurricane and you driving the Wraith and you don't want your shit to get hit by shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, you dodging shit and it's dark out. That's what the beat made me feel like. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yo,
though.
That's some wild shit.
You know me, I get imaginary when I start hearing the beats and shit, especially loud. And it was a dope track, and I didn't want to do it alone.
Right.
You know, and I said, yo, who could come in and eat this with me? And then I said, you know what? That nigga.
The boss.
I kept hearing him on it before I actually sent it out to him, you know, and this was around the time Ross was moving around.
Right.
You know, he was enjoying his fruits of his labor, and I had hit him with the track, and he had called me right after, and he was like, "Yo, where the fuck you get this shit from?" I'm like, "Yo, you like it?" He was like, "Yo, I love it. I'm gonna have this shit to you tomorrow." And when he sent it, when I tell you the track fit him so perfectly that when I sent it to him at first, it was like he knew it was a hit because he had told me, had called me, said, "Yo, we gonna do a video to this, right?" He's like, "Cause you know I want to handle that bill on the video tip."
Oh, word?
Yeah, he was like,
that's
"Yo,
crazy.
this shit is so mean, nigga.
That's
let
crazy.
Let me handle the video."
Right.
I said, "Bet." You know, but I didn't go back at him to be on some do the video yet. But I just felt like the track meshed with his persona, you know, and I knew he was gonna get on there and talk crazy. And he went in, man. You know, the track is definitely one of my favorites on the record. You know, it's definitely gritty. I wanted to make sure that I give my hard, solid, hardcore niggas the shit that they would want still. And this is the record.
And
man.
this is one of the joints that when Ghost walked in, he's like, "I need to be on this."
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
And it's good to hear the three different voices, yours,
yeah,
Ross's, and Ghost, man.
Yeah, we didn't want to make it too long. You know what I mean? Like, if you notice a lot of the records, you know, they not too long because we wanted to keep you in that feeling for a minute and, you know, not really drag you into being drained out or whatever. So
that's smart.
Some verses was like, you know, had to get clipped to make it, but we couldn't shorten this one though.
Yo, let's go into Reverie featuring Ghostface
and
Ross.
It's called The Wraith, y'all.
Iron Man. He sound like Iron Man. Listen, they saying you gotta go.
Yeah.
But I want to play 2 more records.
Come on.
2 more records. You know what I'm saying? I love that record right there.
Nah,
that record is crazy. And I definitely hope that y'all definitely do the video.
Yeah.
You know, this next joint right here, Nautilus. It's another Scram Jones joint. And what it sounds like is like, you know what I'm saying, a 20-year veteran, right? Answer if this is true, man. It sounds like, did you get to a point where you felt like people knew you, people put you in a box?
I feel like niggas know I love the rhyme and niggas know I pick good beats to get on. But at that point, I'm just doing what I love to do, man. You know, I had to be able to get back in that studio and just feel good about me being an MC again, you know.
But with so many guests on here, it seemed like you was like, you know, let me stretch my creative wings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I definitely wanted to make something that I felt would make people be like, damn, it sound new and fresh.
Right.
Like it don't sound like none of his albums. And definitely when I was in there though, you know, like I said, the producers, I really hold them responsible for a lot of the shit that they brought to the table because they was critical. They didn't want to give me shit that they felt would take away from my credibility. You know, so they was really working hard and like I said, Scram being more of a house producer for me, you know, me and him, we connect so well when it's come to tracks that when he called me, he was like, yo, boom, this shit right here, you know, and the beat was actually, you know, carved out of that Nautilus beat.
Right.
You know, and
the Bob James joint.
Yeah, the Bob James joint. You know, everybody call it Nautilus, so you know, he tweaked it. You know, so when I rhymed to it before, it wasn't actually this beat.
Right.
You know, but then he went back home and he did some extra shit and he made it sound what it is. And I loved it so much, I didn't even decide to change the name of the title.
Yeah.
I just said, yo, call the shit Nautilus, man.
What I like about this track is you went around the world, you did all of these joints, you had all these features, and you was like, all right, let me bring it back home.
Yeah, let me give you the
That's
signature.
how it feels, because it sounds like you closing the album.
Yeah.
Let's jump into this joint, man, Nautilus, right now. That record, man.
Thank you, my nigga.
This last record.
Yeah.
Worst Enemy, featuring Liz. Who's Liz Rodriguez?
She's actually a writer. You know, she been on multiple records with a lot of different artists. She was definitely brought to me from a good friend. You know, I felt like she had a certain kind of feeling about her voice when she got on this track, and she basically kind of took me back to the projects with her hook. You know, because I always think about dudes in the hood, you know, that's under certain scrutinies in the neighborhood that make you act or respond a certain kind of way. And when you listen to the hook, it was like she was saying, like, you know, I'm all caught up in shit. You know what I mean? And the worst enemy is myself.
Right.
You know, and I always tell a nigga in the hood, like, you know, think for your enemies, man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you know,
they fighting themselves too.
Yeah, and
they in pain too.
A lot of niggas, you know, it's like sometimes you can have an issue with a nigga in the hood, and you got to think for him because he might not even be worth you really attacking him because
he's not really attacking you for you. He attacking him because he don't know who the last
lost.
Right,
you know what I mean? He going through whatever he going through. But what this record did to me is it took me back to them days of where you had to think for your enemy and, you know, and look at yourself. Like we always say in the hood, you know, if it's an issue, you always got to build two graves, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you don't know how that situation is going to play out.
Right.
And the record just was something that made me want to go back into storytelling and just get some facts out, though. But, you know, her voice was just golden, man, and she's just beautiful at what she do.
You know, I'm not an A&R, but I think this is the perfect record to close the album because this is low-key my favorite record on it so far because, like I said, I've only listened to it twice.
Right.
But it's haunting, man. It's got that haunting, her voice and the whole nine. Listen, man, let's jump into this Worst Enemy featuring Liz Rodriguez, the last record on Fila.
I thought I was in church, man.
Fila.
I thought I was in
out
fucking
in stores
church.
today.
Yeah, man.
Fila out in stores today.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
word up.
Yo, Raekwon, man. Anything else, man? Like this album is giving me life, man.
Nah, thank you, man. I just want
to give
y'all, give y'all
my nigga. Thank you, my nigga.
Love, family, no doubt, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all having me here. You know, like I said, man. You know, I'm in a great space as far as being creative. You know, I just want niggas to enjoy this album, man. You know, I didn't want to make it too long. You know, even with Cuban Links too, a lot of people loved it, but they was like, yo, it was so long. You know, so I kind of like took them notes in this time making this album and didn't really want to make it too long for y'all. You know,
it's very well worth the wait, my dude.
Nah, that's what's up.
It's very well worth the wait. It's out today.
No doubt.
Stores April 28th.
It's out, baby.
April 28th right now. Fila.
Cop that.
Yeah,
yo,
man.
Anything else you want to say to the audience, man?
Nah, I just want to say, you know, yo, man, thanks for fucking with me, you know, rocking with us through these years. You know, my crew as well, Wu-Tang Clan. You know, we always, you know, want to always please the fans and shit. And just want to say, yo, thanks for, you know, still checking a nigga 23 years later.
Man, that's amazing, man.
You know, we still here. I feel good. You know, shout out my crew, Wu-Tang, you know. That's the family. That's the, you know, we always blood, regardless
of what. La Costa Nostra.
Yeah, that don't never go nowhere. And last but not least, you know, shout out your show.
Thank you, man.
You know, Jack the Combat Show is like, yo, y'all niggas always hold us down and y'all talk about real shit. And that's what we need, man. We need to have dudes like yourselves really, you know, be in tune with what's going on because we listening. Don't ever think we ain't listening. So if it's something that y'all feel ain't real, we, you know, that's what we here to.
No doubt.
We here to converse with you. And I definitely just want to salute you on your success on your show.
Salutes, man. Thank you. Pete, let's take it out, man.
Listen. Staten Island's finest.
Shaolin.
Shaolin. What I've always appreciated is how much you have fed the culture all these years. Like you talk about 23 years. It's fucking amazing, man. Staten Island, My Deli, Fila.
Still spitting hungry.
Yo,
comfortable and hungry.
Shout out to Stapleton.
How you so comfortable and hungry at the same time? Comfortable and hungry.
I'm just passionate, man.
Yes, sir.
What we do, you know.
Listen. Fila suits. Valor, holla at Raekwon, man.
Fila, bring that shit back.
Holla at Raekwon.
Bring that shit back.
We'll get the Sergio Tacchinis to fucking come
back.
Bring
that shit back.
That's right.
Internet. You know what this is, man.
No doubt.
Dream them dreams and man up and live those dreams because a life without dreams is black and white. And the universe flows in technicolor and surround sound.
Wow.